All right. Heath Chishty. Talk to me. We're a week out. How you feeling?
I'm feeling strong, man. I'm feeling really, really strong. I actually didn't expect to feel as strong as I do. So I'm feeling very confident, strong, ready to do some damage.
You were talking to me about that a little bit before we got started on this, which I thought was interesting because I saw your post on Facebook. And before it sounded like you were talking like you were just getting training back up. So you're feeling like, oh, okay, I'm stronger than I thought I was going to be after I started back up with my training.
Yep, I didn't expect I've had some injuries since my match with Greg, and they were kind of, I don't want to say severe, but it was more than what I'm used to.
You're talking Greg Gray at the most recent tournament in Arlington, right?
Yeah, that strong old man put a hurting on me.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Just I think I overutilized a bit too much side pressure and some other stuff there, and I took a bit of damage from it. And
what happened? Where was the point? What did you hurt?
I had a minor tear in my subscapulus and a minor tear in, what was it? It's the tendon that attaches your elbow medial something. I can't remember what they said it was, but so just had some light damage. It wasn't anything bad, They told me just to give it some rest and heal up. I went to physical therapy. I did a month or so, maybe, of physical therapy, and within a month they said, "Man, you're already making so much progress. I think you're going to be fine. We don't even think you need this anymore." So I got out of that pretty quick, and then
how long ago was that? They gave you the go ahead, like you're doing great. You don't need to come back here.
I feel like it was. Man, I'd have to look at my calendar. I don't keep track of time.
That long. Arlington wasn't too long ago. Yeah,
it hasn't been that long. Yeah, okay. But I'm feeling, like I said, I'm feeling a lot stronger than I thought I was going to. I'm feeling really good, especially inside. That's what I was really worried about. I guess I was having a little bit of trouble with back pressure too, but that's really, really feeling good.
Okay.
I don't even feel that anymore at all. I think that's pretty much cleared up. And then on the inside, I'm feeling really, really strong too.
Yeah, and so you've got all of your bases covered for the most part there.
Yeah. I don't feel like I have any chinks in the armor currently. You know what I mean?
So yeah. That's awesome. Well, you have some stiff competition and competition that you have met before. But Drew Thompson, who you pulled at the most recent Flashman.
I pulled Drew a lot. Yeah. Out of all of them, I pulled Drew the most. We have a long history in this sport now.
And that was if I remember correctly, that was a 3-0 victory for you, right?
Very first time we ever pulled, he beat me in tournament. But
when was this?
It was a 187 tournament. Man, I can't remember which tournament that was, but I know we were pulling up in a weight class from what we normally would be pulling. We were at 187, and I had a match with I got pinned by Drew there in that tournament, and I think I also lost to Willie. So two tough dudes, man. And that was a rough tournament for me.
But most recently,
I've beat him in 2 super matches, so I'm up on him by 6 at this point. I've beat him the last 6 times we've pulled, and I've been using the same thing every time. I'm really expecting Drew to do something different for me this time. I'm actually worried. I'm really worried. I'm not, like, I know probably people think, oh, you've won 6 times, you got this, but I'm really expecting Drew to do something different this time. And it's got me nervous because Drew is very versatile and he's very strong and he's smart.
Yes, he is. I would I can attest to that myself. And then so you got Drew. You've met with him. The last time you met with him has got to obviously give you a little bit of a confidence boost, I would say, in some department. But you're staying humble as well because you understand. So Tapia Draper. No slouches in this 4-man.
They're all monsters for sure. Like I know GT, he's pretty new, I think he's the newest one out of all of us, right? I'm probably second newest.
I would say that's probably pretty correct. I mean,
We're
he's
pretty
not
close.
too far out from you. You've maybe got, because you're 3-4 years in the game.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Yeah, so you've probably got a year on him, I would say, or a year and a half is all.
Well, he's just like he's super impressive, man.
Naturally gifted. Yeah.
For the high end. He's a beast. He reminds me a lot of myself, honestly. Just
Yeah,
a little
sure.
bit smaller. Just
Yeah.
a little bit smaller, man.
Yeah. But you're feeling
those
good going into that. The last time you met with him was a little bit different. That was a war.
Oh man,
it was a war. Amazing. I'll show it because I got to film that one, so it was.
I had a lot of fun with that match. I really did. Like, as bad as it went for me and everything, I got to really dive in and try to hold a press. I put it on the line, and it didn't break. So
yeah. So tell me about your training a little bit. You do, from what I see that you post, I wouldn't necessarily call it unconventional, but I wouldn't say that most people train the way that you do. But you can't say that you're doing anything wrong because you've been pretty damn successful in a lot of different weight classes with the way that you train. So how's it been for you lately?
I would say my training is probably very unconventional. And that's mainly just due to a lack of knowledge on my part. I don't know all of the conventional things that everybody else knows.
Yeah.
I've just watched what other people have done, and then I've tested out what I can do myself with different things that I have access to and different things that I love. One of the important things for me is making sure that I enjoy my training. Very rarely will you see me doing anything that I don't like.
Sure.
So, and for the record, guys, sometimes we do have to. Okay. I've been working those weighted pull-ups, and I do not enjoy that exercise. But,
Understood.
But for the most part, the ones I'm really consistent with, the ones that really I feel like make me strong and make me the kind of puller that I am, it's just things I found that I made it fun for me, and then I stuck with it. Consistency. I listened to that. When I came in, the old guys, the old dogs, they told me, stay consistent with it and you'll get strong. I was like, okay, well, then I'm going to incorporate this into my life. I'm going to be working on getting stronger at arm wrestling at all times, and I'm going to make it a fun part of my life. So I've got it's very unconventional, but I feel like most arm wrestlers, if you're taking it serious, you probably train pretty unconventionally,
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Like Jason Tarver. I asked him the first time I
just ever bring that up. Yeah.
First time I ever felt his hand, I asked him, what do you do to get such a strong hand? I was like, everybody keeps telling me I have a strong hand, but dude, I can't move you. You just feel like solid. What do you do? And he was like, I live with my hand in a rice bucket. He was like, when I'm watching TV, when I'm, anything I'm doing, I've got a rice bucket next to me and I live with my hand in that thing. And I was like, for real? He was like, yeah, for real. And I was like, okay, watch this. And I also live with my hand in a rice bucket or in the ground digging or something, I'm always, I was like, okay, I get it. You're saying just constantly be incorporating that into your life.
Interesting, man. That's super cool. So tell me, I want to, because this is really interesting, and we were talking last night. I don't think this has ever been done before. This format. So the format, the flashback titles. You can walk me through it if you'd like, but it's essentially a triple elimination bracket, right? For competitor. So you can go 2-0 and still face a guy that you beat already, which makes this. What do you think about that?
It's going to be chaotic, in my opinion, especially just because of the competition that's there. Like, there's not a guy there that can't pin another guy there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, like, I'm not saying that, like, surely one of us is the better dude and is going to prove that. I'm hoping, hopefully we're that clear at the end of this. But to be very clear, there's not a dude that's going to be up on that table that can't be pinned by another dude that's going to be up on that table. None of us are that strong or that far ahead of the others. So it's going to be chaotic, dude. And then all the different styles clashing and your endurance playing into it, what kind of wars you get into. This thing is going to be crazy. Like, I have no clue what's going to happen, honestly, other than I know what my game plan is and what my part in it's going to be, but even that could get messed up
Can you
so
speak
fast.
to that at all, or do you want to keep that on under wraps? Totally okay if you want to, but I am
No, I
interested.
don't mind speaking about it at all because my game plan is the type of game plan that you can know all about it and you can't do shit to stop it. So I will happily put that out there. Fast, brutal. I'm going to hit into whatever I feel like is my lane whenever I'm gripping up with them. I like to try to feel around a little bit. Usually I'll load. I really like to load, but if I'm trying to be fast, I'll feel around and then I'll no load you.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about breaking that out, man. We'll see. It's not been my thing lately. I've been trying to get stronger. I don't want to be fast anymore. I don't really like flash pinning people anymore. Nothing against it. I will still definitely do it if I can, and I need to.
Definitely.
I'll pull it out, but I just I was having a lot of trouble whenever I would get caught in grinders with people. So I've been working that angle. I want to be able to go into wars and get better there. So, been trying to work the endurance, been trying to work the static strength, and I still got the speed and the explosiveness, the technique, at least when it comes to top row. We'll see how my inside, I've been working the inside technique too, but I'm still not as confident there as I would like to be.
Well, looking at, on paper, it looks, you are a heavy top roller. Getsy Tapia is a heavy top roller. Through the thumb top roller. Drew Thompson, again, another top roller. Now, Daryl Draper, I think I've pulled him once before, but, he may be the...
So Daryl has a big hand, and it's very strong.
Hand, right, yes.
He can pull outside. It's just not his ace. I think his ace is
he's an inside puller.
Yeah, he's going to be way more comfortable with any of us on the inside than he would be on the outside. But that's not to say that he can't hang on the outside.
Sure.
Which he might end up having to utilize that. I worry about his ability to contain all of us. He's going to have to pull all of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're all going to be trying to top roll him. I really worry. I imagine we're going to see his top roll. I think he's going to have to break it out. But from what I hear and from what I know from the one time that I pulled with him and felt his hand is definitely big enough and strong enough to do it. Just, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
but,
I guess talk to him on Tuesday. I'm really looking forward to hearing what he has to say. But nevertheless, I think it's going to be awesome. I'm super, super, super stoked for it. And then there's money on the line for this, right?
Yep, $200 from each of us.
So there's $800 to the winner. Is what
$800 for the winner? Yeah.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah, it reminds me of my first super match I ever set up when I ran that match with the 154 guys. Had them meet me at 165. It was Kalen, Matt Frazier, and Joe Allen Cagle. We all put up $500 for a $2,000 purse.
Shoot for the stars, Heath. Shoot for the stars. That's what you do, though. That's what you do.
Yeah. Well, if you want to be the best, man, you got to mingle with the best. You know what I mean?
Agreed. 1,000%.
I've taken some beatings from dudes that were out of my league, but I took something away from every one of those beatings. I came back stronger, better for it. So I have no regrets on that.
Yeah.
None at all. And I won't stop either. You can tell me all day long I need to stop. I keep getting smoked, whatever. I don't care. I want to be the best. And I know how to get there. And I don't care what it looks like on my way. So see you at the top.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, my man. All right, well, so you have to come from Oklahoma, so things are a little bit different for you than there are for everybody else that's here. Mostly everybody is here, right? So you're in Oklahoma. You'll be driving down. It's not super crazy for you, is it? Are you flying or driving?
I'm gonna be driving it, but I've prepped for this. I've got my weight cut dialed in. I've got my travel dialed in. I'm gonna be in Austin on the 12th. Okay, I'm gonna be in Austin several days before this. I'm gonna be ready to make weight. I'm gonna be comfortable where I'm at, set up. I ain't gonna be dealing with no nerves or none of that. I'm gonna be ready, on top of my game for everything, and I've already got all that pretty much locked in. Because God willing, nothing goes wrong.
Yeah, of course.
I've already paid, so something could still go wrong.
Yeah.
I've already put my skin in on all that.
Yeah, very cool. Well, very cool, Heath. Well, listen, I'm very excited. Do you got anything else that you want to say? Anything else you want to drop in there for your opponents? What we should be looking forward to? Anything like that?
Man, I hope that you guys are ready. I just want to see everybody's best. So show up and match energy. All right. That's all I ask for. I'll set the tone if you need me to, but just let's go to war, guys. I can't wait. I don't, who to the best man wins. That's what I want to see. So let's find out.
Yes, sir. Heath Chishty. Thank you, sir. I will see you this weekend. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Yep.